How are you, Antoinette?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Thanks very much for having me today. Very excited.
Of course. Yeah, me too. Yes, it looks like we are streaming, which is fantastic. People are jumping in, which is ace. You guys, if you're here, give us a hashtag live in the comments so I know who you are. Let us know where you are in the world as well. Hello, everyone. Hello. All right, so very cool, very exciting. We are here today with Antoinette McDonnell. We're very lucky. Hello. Antoinette is from Dublin and built the ZenYoga app. She's recently completed her first 6-week challenge with 8 students that she generated through the Expert Unleashed challenge. And I'm really excited to jump into some of the amazing feedback that she's received and really how she went about getting them their desired result. So I think one of the key, we were just talking before this, and Antoinette mentioned that one of the key things for her was really understanding her dream customer in detail. So I'm excited to jump into all of that stuff. For those of you watching, of course, give us your questions, etc. in the comment section. I see Sue is here already. Jose is here as well. Sue's in the UK. Hello, Sue. And we got Liam from the Passion team tuning in to answer your questions in the chat as well. Cool. Antoinette, how's your day going so far?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Yeah, good day.
Nice. Have you been doing some yoga already today?
Yeah, I do yoga pretty much every day. Bit of yoga and meditation is part of my rituals, swimming and walking. So I do as much as I can. I get energy from exercising. So, and then I sit down and I do some work with my laptop and stuff.
Okay, fantastic. Can you tell us a bit about your particular approach to yoga and specifically Zen yoga?
Well, just a brief background. I'm practicing yoga over 20 years and teaching it 8 years. So, wow. I started yoga in Malaysia back in '98, and I continued. Yoga made me feel so good and just gave me more flexibility. It gave me more energy, increased my tonicity. It actually changed my body shape. So I continued practicing yoga, and there came a point. So it's kind of I learned more. It's kind of Iyengar yoga, and it went in. There's various types of yoga. I went into vinyasa flow, and a little bit of Iyengar as well. Sorry, what was your question?
No, that's all right. My question was about your specific approach to yoga, actually, like with your clients.
Okay, with my clients. I wanted to have a kind of yoga that would appeal to everybody, that kind of beginners to intermediate to advanced could participate in the yoga. The yoga essentially opens up your body. It opens up your body, your mind, and your spirit. So you're more receptive to other teachings once you practice the yoga. My approach would be to help the practitioner to strengthen up their body gradually, starting off, in baby steps, and certainly over the 6-week challenge. It started off gently, and each week is incrementally getting a little bit more challenging. I did call it a challenge. It wasn't called a challenge for no reason. For the most part, they enjoyed the challenge, and that it was getting a little bit trickier and more challenging each week. However, there was like 2 ladies that were more beginner type of practitioners. So what I did was, I didn't want them to feel, they were feeling a little alienated because the classes were probably a little bit too difficult for them. So I added in, at that point in the challenge, I started to add in more beginner type classes. So instead of having just one yoga class to choose from in the 5 days, I added in another one. So there was like more beginner kind of level 1, and plus there was the intermediate to advanced class as well. So I just wanted everybody to feel like they were getting something out of the yoga practices. And so does that answer your question?
It does. Yeah, absolutely. So I see a bunch of people signing in live, which is excellent. Hello, everybody. We have, as I said, Jose and Sue, and also now Sarah and Ma. Hope you guys are all really well. I think this is a really excellent opportunity to learn from someone who's not only been through the Expert Unleashed challenge and generated her first clients, but also has now been through an entire 6-week challenge with those clients, has received fantastic feedback from them, and has learned what it takes to really, go through that entire thing. So feel free to pop your questions for Antoinette in the chat underneath this video, and we'll make sure to get to them during this. One question for those of you, hello Marina, one question for those of you who are watching live. I'm interested to know whether you have completed your challenge with your clients or not. Okay, so if you've already been through the Expert Unleashed challenge and you've created your program, your challenge, your app, and you've already been through that process, give us a number 1 in the comments. And if you have not yet completed your challenge with your first clients, then give us a 0. I like to know who we've got watching so we can make sure we tailor the interview to you guys. So 1 if you finished the challenge, a 0 if you have not. Okay, cool. So let's dive into it, Antoinette. Tell us about your ideal, your dream customer.
When I was going through the Expert Unleashed challenge, I had to really rack my brains as to all the various challenges we were given every day, trying to establish the ideal customer. I wasn't really sure, but as time evolved, it did become clear to me. The ideal customer was essentially someone like myself that had gone through, that was going through or had gone through what I went through. Someone that I could really I could completely resonate with and really help. It's important for me to be able to help people. I get a lot more satisfaction, and I feel my work is more worthwhile when I'm actually helping people. So basically, I'm a single mother, went through a very difficult separation a good number of years ago, 2 young children. I had a difficult upbringing when I was very young, so I had a lot of stuff that needed to be healed. I had been practicing yoga, and when I had my second, he was only 1. He's almost 10 now. I decided to go into the yoga teacher training. I had lost my job. There had been a crash here in 2008, and I had lost my job. So I found myself stuck at home with 2 young children, which was not what I had planned. I'm quite ambitious and wanted to be working, never planned to be a stay-at-home mom. And I wasn't getting on so well with the ex, and I was dependent on him, and it just wasn't an ideal situation for me. Very difficult, very challenging. So I went into the yoga teacher. I didn't have the money to pay for the yoga teacher training. My dad, I asked, could I have a loan? He paid for it for me for the yoga teacher training course. I embarked on that. It was the best parts of a year. It went really well. I just felt hope. I felt great. There's a way out of this situation. I can start making my own money and get myself back on track again. So I did, and 2012, I set up my own home studio. I've got a really nice room where I could do that. Set up my own home studio, and I gradually started building up clients. And through this process, I was attracting various clients into the classes. I also went into to Reiki and healing, and my class would have the format of, like, I do a bit of breath work and mindfulness, a little bit of meditation, the yoga, and then there'd be a bit of poetry, which kind of resonated for me because it was quite healing words, which really helped me in my healing journey. So basically, as a single mother and a busy mom, I figured out that my ideal customer was a busy mom who feels completely overwhelmed between home life, working, children, not looking after herself properly, neglecting herself, putting on a bit of weight, losing her self-confidence, losing her strength in her body and her mind, not really having any direction as to where she wants to go in her life, which is where I was at. I felt completely demoralized. So I've been through that. And I had weight issues. I was a serious eating disorder for many, many years. So I understand. I would have had put on a little bit of weight over the years. I understand what it's like to have eating cravings and having a kind of addictive personality. So I could really help people to navigate through these times. So that's what that became my ideal customer, and that's what I created the challenge around, and it's just turned out to be hugely successful.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Those of you watching, did that resonate with you guys? How did you feel as Antoinette was describing her dream customer, it felt authentic because it's her story, it's where she was, and it's the challenges that she's overcome. That's what we talk about in all of our training when we talk about having an authentic dream customer. That's fantastic. And what I also loved is that you went into the demographic, yes, so single mum, for example, but also the psychographic, what's going on the inside, what are they struggling with, what are their big goals. Yeah, Jose says 100% clear. We have a question. Yeah, so Jose's complete his whole course with his clients, which is great. Ma and Sue have not. Okay, Ma has a question. I think Ma is also in yoga. When you created your app, your content inside your app, Antoinette, did you use lessons or did you use sequences, and why?
I used lessons. That suited better because for me each class is unique. Sequences are not the way I work my classes.
Got it.
I have a plan. I have my plan in front of me when I'm doing the class, particularly when I had to do this challenge. Normally when I'm teaching my classes, I wouldn't necessarily need a plan. I just have a few things in my head, but I had to be clearer. So yeah, I'd like it to be more spontaneous and to let it flow. And then the recipients can just feel my energy a bit better. That's just my style.
Yeah. Okay, I like it. Good. That I think that will answer Ma's question. And how long was so this is a question from Sue, who's also watching. How long was each video on average, each lesson?
Each lesson was approximately 30 minutes. I would have the first couple of minutes, I always do a little bit of grounding and settling because, you know, people have come from, I don't know where they've come from, but I like them. I like to go directly into the yoga. I like to just settle and ground them firstly. So we do a little bit of breath work. It's called pranayama. Firstly, just for a couple of minutes, and we might do a little bit of an actual grounding exercise and a protection exercise. I wanted to teach them how to protect their energy and how to ground themselves. And then we'd go into the yoga. The yoga would last approximately 20-22 minutes, and then at the very end we do a nice savasana, which is relaxation. And there'd be a little bit of music that would come on, nice relaxing music, and throughout that music I'd read a piece of poetry, which was kind of like the little message that I would drop in at the very end of the class. As I said, when people have practiced their yoga, they've opened their body, minds, and spirits up, and they're more receptive to these nice messages being dropped in. It kind of sets them up for their day or for their evening at the end.
Okay. Great. I think that's going to answer Sue's question. She has a smiley and a love heart, so I'm going to take that as a question answered. You know, Antoinette, I've worked with many yoga teachers in the last years, and something I've learned about the yoga industry is that selling can be something that is tough because there's a certain idea or culture in yoga around like it should be free or I think some people just find it tough. Now, you probably know, and those watching may also know, that my view on this is that selling is serving, because number one, when someone invests money, they're far more likely to invest time, and really time is the thing they need to invest to get the result they want. I've given away many free trainings where people haven't actioned them, and then I've charged money for them and people have actioned them. So in the end, I'm serving them better if I charge. And the other thing is, you know, just taking our experience, we spend almost $100,000 every month on developers to actually build our platform, right? And if I don't have any money coming in, I can't pay them, and therefore I can't create a great platform and I can't make it better every month. So how I provide a good service is by charging, and I know it's the same for you guys as experts. So my question is, as a yoga instructor, how did you relate to the selling side of the whole process.
You're talking about within the 6-week challenge, within creating the app?
Yeah.
Well, I certainly felt comfortable charging, but as compared to some other people that were doing the challenge, maybe I questioned how much I was charging. Was I charging enough? But
Okay.
certainly starting off on the first 6-week challenge, I didn't want to charge too much. I didn't want to put people off. I just try to put myself in that same position. What would be the maximum that I would pay starting off with someone who was just starting their 6-week challenge? It's kind of like a pilot run. So what did I charge? It was it ended up being €297 is what I charged for the 6-week challenge, and I was comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But actually, when I completed the challenge, I felt that it was great as a pilot run, and I've got fantastic testimonials out of it and very happy customers, and many of them are continuing on. It wasn't enough that I charged, I felt, because of all the time and the effort that I put in, and the coaching calls every week, the Facebook community. I would always be very respondent to any of their messages. So it's kind of it's a process that evolves, as you've said many times. And I agree with that, and it's something that I have to become more comfortable with. As I went through the journey, I became more comfortable with it, and I realized the value that I was giving to people, and that I absolutely deserve that remuneration, a generous remuneration for the effort that I'm putting in and for the difference that I'm making to people's lives.
You know, on that note, and if those of you watching are thinking about pricing, I saw some of you haven't got to that point yet. I'm going to briefly share my screen with you and show you some feedback that I took a screenshot from the community. So this is some feedback that Antoinette received from one of her clients. I can't believe how quickly the 6 weeks has flown by. My goal was to have more energy and enthusiasm for my life, to wake up with purpose, drive, and gratitude every morning. I'm thrilled to report that I have reached my goal and then some. It was hard at times, and depression and self-doubt tried to stop me, but thanks to Antoinette for motivating me and keeping me focused. I feel more like myself than I have in years. Plus, I can now touch the floor and bend forward. Thank you so much. This has been an amazing journey. And the reason I wanted to share that in regards to pricing is, one way to look at pricing is, I know, Antoinette, how much you've put into this, and that has a value, right? But let's all put ourselves in the position of the person who's written that and think the impact that this has had on their life. What's that worth to them? I mean, is there even a monetary figure that you can put on that sort of impact? So I think for you guys watching, when you're thinking about pricing, think about the value people are receiving, because yeah, it's huge if you follow this process, you know, with focus.
Just to say as well, it's kind of a process. The challenge that I created is work that is kind of its culmination of my own personal healing journey and my work over the past 8 years. So it's my heart work. It's not just work I do to earn a few quid. It's comes from the heart. Yeah. And people feel that when you really put your heart and soul into it. People really pick up on that, and it makes the world of a difference. And there is no price in that. Look at the results that this lady got, and all the others. I mean, wow, it's incredible. It's extremely gratifying.
On that topic, Antoinette, could you explain some of the things that you learned? So, I mean, you've been doing this 8 years, right? So I know that you've helped many people in that time, but this is maybe a little bit different because it's online, it's with an app, etc. So could you, I mean, and you've been successful in getting people their desired result, I can see. Can you explain some of the things you learned about what it really takes to help people to really have impact on people?
Well, when I was creating the yoga classes and the meditation, it's a 6-week body and mind strengthening challenge. That's what it was called, from ZenYoga. So ZenYoga is kind of it's not just yoga, it's meditation, it's mindfulness, it's healing via poetry as well. So Sorry, Dan, I've just, your question's going out of my head again. Sorry.
That's okay. You know, I was interested if yeah, what did it take to make sure they really did the work, that they actually had the impact that you intended?
Okay. Well, there was 5 days a week where they were doing the yoga, and I was posting on we have a Facebook group, community group for all the ladies, and I would, just to keep them motivated, because you know it's important to keep them motivated. Human nature is that we fall off, and if they're not given a bit of a push, yes, they will fall off. So I did need to keep them motivated. We went on to, I would say, what was your favorite part of the class today? How did you get on with the class today? What I was doing also another thing I was doing every day. What the feedback was really valuable from the clients. I was getting feedback every week from them. I created a form in type form, and one of the ladies suggested adding an affirmation to the meditation. I said, that's brilliant. I absolutely love that. That's fantastic. So then that was probably week 3. I added in the affirmation onto the video, and I had it as affirmations for the day on the app, and then I brought it into Facebook, and I'd have affirmations for the day, whatever it was, and that kind of set the theme for the day for the participants. And then the meditations, I kind of had them themed, like, you know, dealing with food cravings throughout the session. I had them themed, and again, to keep them motivated, I would talk about it within the Facebook community, and then also I'd post about the group coaching call earlier in the week, and just please confirm if you can attend, all this kind of thing. And then I would talk a lot over the group coaching call about how the week has been progressing, how the class has gone for you. Yeah, that's kind of the way I kept them motivated.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, something I would like to draw from that as a key learning for you guys watching is, when you're requesting feedback from people, what Antoinette did fantastically was asking open questions like, what did you like about today? How did you feel about this? What, how, that sort of thing, rather than closed questions, which is like, did you enjoy XYZ, right? Like, don't give people yes, no, don't give people multiple choice. If you truly want to get to the truth, which is how you actually improve, ask open questions. Don't try and guide what people say, because that's how you'll get to their true experience. And it sounds like the way that, because you did that, Antoinette, you were able to evolve your process very organically and in a way that really helped your customers.
Yes, absolutely. And also the women, they as they became more familiar with each other, they would, like, as you have, as we have on the community, they would encourage each other and motivate each other, and they put up like inspirations. Excuse me. Not every day, but maybe a few times a week. They started becoming more comfortable, and they were posting inspirations and gratitude shares. And I also was asking them to share each day, to write down 5 things that they were grateful for every day, in addition to their food journal. And they were welcome to submit their food journal onto the Facebook group if they wanted, if they felt comfortable. Some did. They were sharing recipes on the Facebook group, and they were sharing their gratitude shares as well. So that all helped to build the morale and build the encouragement and build the accountability within the group.
Yeah, fab. So let's go to the chat again. Marina has a question, which is, were the classes immediately available within your app or within the web app when you uploaded them for your customers?
Were they available immediately? Yeah, they were. Yeah, there wasn't a problem. And you mean signing on and stuff?
I'm not sure. Marina, maybe you could clarify the question in the chat, please, or maybe it already answered your question. Let us know. Lawrence says, I love this. Lawrence says, some of my clients actually asked to pay more because they loved the challenge. Now that is a good testimonial, Lawrence.
That's brilliant. I'd like some of those, please.
Yeah, right. I can tell you, Lawrence, from experience, that's a rare customer who requests that. Good stuff. And then Ma said, did you have live classes as well, or was it or group calls? How did you deal with the live side of it?
Yeah, the group call, the weekly group call was live, and not all of them were able to participate every week. But yes, that went well. I mean, there's definitely room for improvement. I mean, I would like going forward, I'd like the group calls. You know, you learn a lot from going through this whole 6 weeks. And there's still a bit of tidying up I want to do in my 6-week challenge. Go back, maybe re-record a couple of the videos, meditations, and certainly the group coaching call. It went well, but sometimes I felt it needed to be better managed or have a better format. So I think going forward, I'm going to have a better format for it. But sorry, did that answer the question?
Yeah, absolutely. What is your end goal with this? When you embarked on this journey, what were you visualizing as the end goal?
Well, I was teaching a lot of classes in companies. I'd be traveling to various companies teaching. I have a home studio, teaching a couple of classes there a week as well. I really, and then I'm a Reiki healer, so I was doing one-to-one healing as well. But I was really, before the whole COVID thing, I was wanting to kind of to move online or do something different. But when this came along, when this opportunity came along, when I saw your webinar, I said, I just knew that this was an amazing opportunity, and this is exactly where I wanted to go, because I was quite tired of teaching so many classes every week, maybe up to 10 classes a week. I just wanted to make it more scalable, reduce that kind of like repetition, and I would see this as being the future for me. Yeah, bringing my classes onto apps, and adding on different challenges, adding on, like, because I have a couple of ladies that have remained on as subscription members. They're now currently repeating that 6-week challenge, but I'm going to add, for example, 7 days of core work, 7 days of looking inward, various themes I will add into the current offerings. Plus I purchased a lot of yoga clothing from all organic cotton bamboo clothing from various companies around Europe. I wore them throughout all of the videos. So I'm going to be selling them, and they will drop ship. These companies will drop ship the products for me. So I'm going to be adding those onto the. I'm going to have a website and link it onto the app as well. So yeah, that kind of thing. I'm just going to kind of integrate the app with. I have another website, the yoga website. Link with that, integrated with the clothing. It's all online, really. That's where I want to go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a follow-on question, and it's for you, Antoinette, but also everyone watching. And the following question is this: if you achieve all that, if you get everything that you're doing in the offline world, and you're able to bring it online and then some, right? You've got the location independence and the financial independence that goes with that. So for those in the chat, I want to know your answer as well. What would that allow you to do? Like, I mean, all of that is a vehicle to something, right? Like what will that allow you to do from a lifestyle perspective?
I'm moving to a different location. I'm moving about within the next year. I'm actually moving from where I'm currently living out to kind of more of the country area to Wicklow. So it's about maybe 30-minute drive away. It just allows me, I'm not saying to kick back and put my feet up. That's not really me, but it takes the craziness out of running around like a headless chicken, going around to all these classes and teaching all these classes, and just you know, my body's it just makes my body too tired, and it just gives me more freedom. I can do my work anywhere. I can travel. I can have my my holiday home over in France or somewhere, and I can travel over there and continue my work over there. You know, it gives me the freedom. I can record my classes wherever I go going forward. It gives me time freedom, gives me more time with my children, with the people that I love. It means that I can just have a nicer house, have a nicer home. Yeah. Got it. It creates a better lifestyle, happier life. It's not just about the money side of things. It's just about the time freedom that you have. Right. Quality, more quality time with family, with loved ones, time to enjoy just life more. Yeah.
Nice. You know, not a lot of people know this, but so our brand is Passion.io, and our legal entity is called Independence 284. And independence is like something that just means a lot to both Matthias, my co-founder, and myself. And it's what you're describing. It's the freedom to be able to have the time to be able to be where you want to be. And yeah, so it resonates a lot with me. I'm glad to hear you that's the path you're on as well. Yeah. We have a bunch of people in the comments here. Let's see. So Thomas has a question which I will quickly answer. So Thomas says, has anyone had experience with how to handle seasonal products? I'm a music teacher and I'm planning on launching in September when teaching really begins. Is it better to wait for the need in the market? Thomas, to give you a brief answer on this, we talk about it in Expert Freedom, which is the follow-on training to Expert Unleashed. Seasonal promotion is a huge, huge thing. If you look at our revenue chart, January is huge because of New Year's resolutions. You have a lot of stuff around February, around like Valentine's Day, around Super Bowl weekend, etc. Right? Black Friday in November is huge for us. So for you, Thomas, if you're a music teacher, it's very likely September will be huge for you. I'm not a fan of waiting for anything. So if I were in your situation, I'd probably like crack on, but also do something in September. Of course, that's completely up to you. So Thomas, hopefully that answers your question. Jose wants to be more of a creative person and travel. I like that. And Lawrence says, I haven't launched my web or app as yet, as many paying clients on the challenge now. I'm getting closer to finishing the app. I don't know and how I would manage the app and web any device. Lawrence, I'm sorry, I don't fully understand the question. Maybe you could rephrase it in the comment section, and we'll be happy to get to it. Sue says she can relate to the running around, Antoinette. It sounds like okay. Sounds like you got some things in common. Right. So Marina has a question for you, Antoinette, which is, did the cost of your challenge include the membership for the app after the challenge? And what are you charging for the monthly subscription ongoing?
Sorry, what was the first part? Did the monthly?
So when you charged this $297, was it just for 6 weeks, or did you give them like access to the app lifetime? Or
no, it was just for the 6 weeks. Yeah, $297 for the 6 weeks. And thereafter, if they wanted to stay on, I was just I found it really hard to try and figure out the pricing. But so I was really racking my brains about that. So I just decided if they wanted to stay on and get further support, as in the weekly group coaching call, I was going to charge €89 per month.
Right.
And then if they wanted to stay on and just do their own thing on the app without the coaching call or extra support, or it was €49 a month. So I have a couple that have stayed on for the €49 a month, where they're just kind of repeating the challenge and doing their own thing again. I am keeping a little bit of contact with them because I do want to see, they are my kind of founding members. I do want to see how they're continuing to get on, and feedback, and just asking them about further challenges they'd like to see on the app. Because that really helps me to develop further material. But going forward on the Expert Freedom, the pricing is changing. I'm definitely putting in different pricing going forward. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I have two final questions, sorry. For those of you watching, now's your opportunity. If you still have questions for Antoinette, someone who's had great success getting eight relatively high-paying clients in her app within just 30 days, been through a whole 6-week program with them, helped them achieve incredible results, and is now on the path to Expert Freedom, to growing the app. So if you have questions, now's your opportunity, because we're going to be wrapping up very soon. My second to last question, Antoinette, is you are in our founding members of Expert Freedom, and that's the follow-on training to Expert Unleashed. We're right now on, I think, day 20. Spoiler alert, there's 24 days, so you're getting towards the tail end of it. So it basically finishes next week. I'm very curious about your experience with expert freedom, and maybe for those who haven't gone through it, you can explain a bit. If you can explain your answer in a way that if someone hasn't gone through it, they'll still understand, that would be great.
Sure. I'll try my best.
Thank you.
I'm not as far as day 20 where you're at today. I'd like to have continued. I've day 8 you were looking for the testimonials, so I've kind of like backtracked, but basically going through the expert freedom challenge is fantastic. It's helping to fine-tune the marketing and the promotion, and you're going through everything in such detail and just telling us which apps to use to help us to be the expert to be free. So it's kind of automating things to make it much more streamlined, which is absolutely fantastic. Huge learning curve. I mean, huge learning curve from from the Expert Unleashed challenge. Talk about pushing you outside of your comfort zone. I thought I was jumping out of like a plane so many times. It's okay. Just trust the process, go with it. And it's brought me into a new level of confidence that I haven't had before in my ability, in what I can do and what I can teach. And then as I said, the expert freedom, I'm very excited, extremely excited about it and taking it to the next level. I'm working through it at my own pace. My children are on holidays, and I have a big birthday coming up. There's a few things coming up, so I've had to take a little bit of a back seat for the next few days, but I'm going to do as much as I can within those few days. So yeah, I'd say going through the 24 days, for me, it wouldn't be as straightforward as doing it like in consecutive days, because some of the days require a lot more work. Like, for example, to get the testimonials, obviously it takes a few days for the testimonials to come forth. And I'd asked for video testimonials. I mean, I really didn't think any of them were going to give me a video testimonial, but actually I've got 4 of them give me video testimonials, which is like, wow. Amazing. But it's I'm really, like, I see some people on the community, and they're keeping up with the days. I'm jealous. I want to be there. I'll get there. Yeah, you just got to listen to your body. It's got a little bit of you need to step back after the 6-week challenge, which was a lot of intense work, but all worthwhile. Fantastic.
Well, thank you. You're the first person I've spoken to directly about the feedback, because I've been in the community a lot, but that's great to hear, to be honest, because it's our first pancake. And look, the expert freedom, I'll tell you guys candidly, when I started this whole thing, I said I'm not going to do it day-based, because there's big chunks that you can't do within a day. And the feedback I had from the community was like, no, we want it in day-based. So I've done my best to chunk it down in something that could, in theory, be done day by day. But Antoinette, believe me, I fully understand that some things just take longer, like the testimonial thing. And so yeah, no worries at all. Okay, so let's see if we have any more questions in here before I ask the final question to you. Jose said, oh, I'm loving it. Very instrumental in getting to the next level. Fantastic. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Lawrence said, I'm having great success with the challenge, and I'm very busy with training and making videos. I'm just scared that I might be overwhelmed when the app is actually up. Any advice or words of encouragement? Okay, so Antoinette, what's your perspective on that in terms of, like, once the app is live, does it add a lot to your workload or not?
Well, I was creating and producing and editing and all that week by week. I was getting feedback from my clients every week, and based on the feedback, I might adjust it. I kind of planned a week in advance, so it wasn't like I'm starting from scratch. I kind of knew what I was going to do, and I might just have edited it accordingly. It's certainly a very busy time. I won't say it's not, because it's a very, very busy and very intense time. But like, once they were up and running on the app, it seemed to go really smoothly. Like, for example, I'd created like 5 days of yoga, in collaboration with 5 days of meditation, and then I had another maybe 6 items of bonus material as well, if they had time. it seemed to go pretty smoothly. The app works seamlessly. It's such a beautiful app. The way it's created and the way you can kind of personalize it to your own style, your own branding. It's a beautiful app, very user friendly. My clients were just very impressed with it. I got great feedback in the presentation and the user, the ability to use it and navigate easily around it. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
I think so. And Lawrence, I would add one thing, because from your question, Lawrence, it sounds like you've been through the Expert Unleashed challenge, you've generated your first clients, you're working with those clients, but it sounds like you're not giving them the content inside your app. If that is the case, then what I recommend, and what Antoinette is describing as well, is that we recommend doing it simultaneously. So Lawrence, you would add the content to your app and then share that and then tell your clients, hey, the first week is up, log into the app here, right? So the actual app being live is not the thing that really adds the workload. Like, you're already doing the work, you're there with your customers. The reason that you do it inside the app is so that you get all the feedback, as Antoinette said, and by the end, you have your app live with all of the feedback incorporated from your founding members. So let me know if that answers your question, Lawrence. Marina, we're going to sneak your question in, and then we're going to have to wrap up with my final question. So Marina asks, did you use music in your classes, Antoinette?
No, I didn't use music. Now, before, I would have always used music in my classes, but I was just getting used to, it's all very new for me, excuse me, the recording, and I had to keep re-recording until I got the hang of it and got it right, and the mic and the sound and everything. I did test it out, but I found the music was competing with my voice, and I just felt it was more important that my instruction was really clear and the video was clear and that my voice was really clear. That was the priority. So no, I didn't bring music into the actual class. But then I did find a way that I could bring music in if I really wanted to as I went on. You know, when you're kind of like editing your video, you can put music in the background for the whole class if you really wanted. But I decided I didn't want that. I just wanted my own instruction. I did add in music at the very end for the relaxation parts, just for a couple of minutes at the end when they were relaxing. It just aids relaxation, that nice music, along with a little bit of poetry. But that was as far as I went with the music. But sorry, there was also music on the meditation, because it was a guided meditation that I did every day. So I initially, when I did the first week, I had like 3 days of no music and 2 days of music, and I just asked the feedback on, do you want music or no music? And the feedback was music. So then going forward, I added music into every meditation.
Okay, nice. Thank you. So I guess that answers your question, Marina. For those of you using sequences, Antoinette did not, but if you use sequences and you want to add music, we recommend just putting a Spotify playlist in the lesson before, and people can open that up, and Spotify works at the same time as your app. And what's also very nice is then you don't have to worry about royalty, like using royalty-free music, because you can create a playlist and Spotify pays the royalties for you. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so my final question, Antoinette, is if you're walking down the street and you bump into someone who maybe saw this podcast, you know, and they say, hey, I saw you speaking to Dan yesterday, I'm thinking about launching an app, thinking about going through the challenge, but I'm a bit skeptical, or I'm a bit busy, and I don't know if I'm going to do it. What would you say to that person if you're speaking to them now?
I would say that I was skeptical at first when I was invited onto the webinar, but I said I'd give it a shot and I'd listen. I'd nothing to lose. And I would say that by watching the webinar, I was convinced that it was definitely legitimate and a genuine offer. And then my confidence grew in the app and in the offerings. As I progressed on the Expert Unleashed challenge, I could see that it was extremely professional, extremely thorough, and the support was fantastic. You can contact people. You're giving an onboarding call. You're offered another call on a one-to-one basis if you need it. Fantastic support throughout the community. Experts that were like me, starting off with not a huge amount of confidence and not really knowing if I was good enough to do this. but my confidence built up as I progressed, because I knew that there were so many other people in the same boat as me, and our confidence built together. We grew together. So I would say 100%, this has given me so much more confidence in my offerings, and it has helped me to kind of collaborate all of my offerings into the one, which is just, it's just incredible. There are no words. I'm very excited about the journey ahead. I just know I feel I'm going to go very far here. So I would 100% say go for it, and give it your best shot. It's hard work. If you're willing to pull your sleeves up and just get stuck in, you'll do really well.
That's right, and I'm also very confident that you'll go far with this process, because you just, I can see, Antoinette, you're a grafter. You're doing the work, and you're going above and beyond. And you know, we started this whole, or let's say the reason why I work on passion as the thing I do from morning till evening is because I was lucky enough to be impacted by some people I found very inspiring, and who really helped me level up and helped me adopt a growth mindset. And I was just so positively impacted. I wanted the world to have access to these inspiring people. And so to see you having an impact on your end users makes me very grateful, gives me a lot of joy. And I'm excited to continue this journey together. Yeah,
thank you so much, Dan. You've been an absolute inspiration, and very grateful for what you've created, where we can actually excuse me, help people and make a difference in the world. That makes me, this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. So it's great that you've created the means to do this. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you so much for everyone who tuned in to watch live. If you're watching on the replay, hello as well. Lawrence and Marina and Craig and Jose and Thomas and Sue and so many of you guys. It's really great. And who was here earlier? Ma was here as well, maybe still. Yeah, very cool. And thank you, Liam, for setting this up if you're still watching. Yeah, have a great day, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.